Hello, and welcome back to my podcast. I'm Coach Racquel, and this is Finding Happy, episode 2. So, I just sat here and I did an entire podcast, right? Oh my goodness. I did an entire podcast. I did an entire podcast just now, and I think I went up to almost an hour, and I was not recording. Oh, life is beautiful, isn't it? Life is beautiful. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today on Finding Happy. This is episode 2. Like I said last in my last episode, I enjoy podcasting because podcasting gives me an opportunity to work through my experiences as well as share my experiences and my stories with the hope that it inspires other people because we're all on our own individual journey, and sometimes we intersect, sometimes we don't, sometimes our stories are similar. And for me, I know I definitely benefit from the wisdom of other people's experiences. And so I feel inspired to share mine. And so that's what I like about podcasting. And last week we spoke about letting go, and I spoke about three tips or three lessons I've learned when it comes to letting go. And the first one was be careful of the story that we tell ourselves about this thing or this person that we're seeking to let go. And number two, prioritize yourself. And number three, boomerang. If it belongs to you, it will get back. It will come back to you. But this week we're going to be talking about. Well, this week's topic is a question, right? Are you peeing on my leg? In other words, are you peeing on my leg and telling me it's raining? Have you ever had an experience with anyone and it makes you feel unsteady? It makes you feel like you're losing your balance. It makes you feel like you're swerving, like what's going on, like chaos is coming, like you're just in a quandary, like what's happening to me? And you can't really put a finger on it. You have some ideas, but you can't really put a finger on it. Has that ever happened to you? Because I had an experience recently, and let me be clear, I don't believe in the concept necessarily of good or bad for me personally, right? I believe that I have life experiences, and those experiences come with pain and peace. Sometimes, or in most cases, the peace may come at the end, right? And that's okay. I don't see pain as a bad thing. I see pain as a process, right? And from that process comes wisdom, right? And so for me, I don't necessarily feel like, oh, someone was doing something bad to me. No, I feel like I was going through an experience and I was kind of veering into new territory, perhaps. So I had a lot of questions. I was unclear about a lot of things, like what is happening to me. And last night I was watching a commentary. They were talking about the whole uh, reported or alleged abuse that was happening in the actress Kiki Palmer's relationship, and they were going through the court documents that she filed, and they were talking about her reportedly feeling like she was being love bombed, gaslit, you know, stuff like that, emotional abuse, as well as they were talking as well about the physical abuse from images that were shared in court, in the court filings. The media had gotten it and they were sharing it as well. And as I sat and I was watching it, my own realization that I was being abused or I have had recently been abused emotionally kind of hit me because I had met someone who wasn't a new relationship. It's someone I knew before, but we reconnected. And my interaction with this person made me feel like I was disoriented, like I was becoming discombobulated, just unbalanced. Like I felt like someone was pulling the rug out from under me. And I was saying, I was vocalizing what I was feeling, but in questioning, like, what's going on? And I remember I said to him one day, well, I've said it multiple times today. I've asked him multiple times, at least twice. But I remember the first time I asked, I said, are you trying to love bomb me? And I remember his response, and I have it in text. His response was, I wish I could. I was taken aback, so I thought to myself, why would somebody want to love bomb me? And if I'm not mistaken, I think I said it. I asked, like, why would you want to do that? I don't think I got a response. Based on my understanding, love bombing is when someone seek to evoke feelings in you that they're not prepared to return. But I'm going to go to Google and share a definition with you. So, according to Cleveland Clinic Health Essentials website, it says love bombing is a form of psychological and emotional abuse that involves a person going above and beyond for you in an effort to manipulate you into a relationship with them. Let me read that again. Love bombing is a form of psychological and emotional abuse that involves a person going above and beyond for you in an effort to manipulate you into a relationship with them. It looks different for every person, but it usually involves some form of excessive flattery and praise. For me, I asked the question because I felt hot and cold with the person. Like at one moment, I feel like this person was initiating a relationship with me, and then the next moment, I feel like the person was distancing themselves. Like they wouldn't respond to my messages right away. They read the messages but not respond to it, as well as you share certain messages with me, but you never initiate communication with me. So it was very disconcerting for me. I felt like, okay, what's going on here? You're making certain statements, you're doing certain things, but I didn't understand. And I remember this person visited me, and the first conversation we had as they entered my home was about a fear I have that I had shared. I remember I shared my fear of lizards. And because we were talking about where I live and everything, and I said the only thing I don't like about where I live is the lizards, the creepy crawlies, and I'm really afraid of it. And I remember the response I got was, I can help you with that, right? I can help with that. And I was like, I thought that was so sweet. Like, oh, thank you. I thought it was so cute, so sweet. Yeah. On the day when the person arrived at my home, I said, I was looking around, because whenever I open my door, I always look for them to make sure they don't go into the house. So I was doing the look around thing. So I usually say to persons who come, because I guess it might look weird. To me, I'm thinking it might look weird that I'm doing that. Check. So I said, don't worry about me. I'm just looking to make sure there are no lizards because I'm afraid of them, as you know. And then the person said to me, you're afraid of lizards? Why would you be afraid of those? Like they're harmless. They won't harm you. And it's like a ding, ding, ding. It went off in my head like, this is not the first time we have this conversation. We've spoken about this in multiple times during different conversations we've had because it's a big deal for me. So, you know, it was interesting. Anyway, are you peeing on my legs and tell me it's raining? I got that phrase from Judge Judy, no nonsense judge. She always cut through all the BS and get straight to the truth. Yeah. At times when interacting with people and having experiences, and like I said, I believe that experiences come with two things: pain and peace. Oftentimes, peace comes at the end. When we have experiences with people, sometimes there are some people who, whether intentionally or unintentionally, sometimes seek to control, deceive, manipulate, or have their way with us. And it can become very disconcerting. It can become very uncomfortable. It can become very frightening because for me, I I was crying often, praying. I didn't understand what was going on with me, and I was vocal about it. Like, what's going on with me? Are you love bombing me? What is this? What's happening to me? Am I falling in love? Am I not falling in love? What is this thing? I was just very unbalanced. I became very unbalanced. I felt like someone was pulling out the rug from underneath me. And three lessons I've learned from that experience I want to share with you. Um, I think these three things could have helped me to manage this in a shorter cycle. Yeah. But I have no regrets and I think I did my best, right? The first one, the first lesson I learned was trust your instinct. Trust your instinct. You know what I did? I questioned my instinct. It's clear I had some idea, like my instinct was telling me something isn't right here, something isn't right here, something isn't right here. But instead of just trusting it and accepting it, I was questioning my instinct. See, I began questioning myself, which is not a bad thing because when you're in a new space, explore. And the best way to explore is questioning, is to ask questions rather than drawing to conclusions. But what I learned is trust my instinct. One, don't question your instinct. Listen to it. Listen and acknowledge that that voice inside of you is telling you something. And two, receive the information it's giving you. Receive the information. Listen to it. Receive the information. Yes. And three, accept the information. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Trust your instinct. And how do you trust that instinct? Listen to it to hear what it's saying, receive the message the signal it's sending, and accept the message that it sends to you. Accept it. Trust your instinct. Your instincts. That's number one. Number two lesson that I learned, I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did not um it's not my fault that someone set out to deceive me or to love bomb me, yes, or to abuse me emotionally. I did not set out for that. I did not invite that on. I did ask myself, though, in learning from the situation, how might I have attracted that to myself? But never blame yourself. It's not your fault. You did nothing wrong. And even that is a challenge for me because I usually go to holding myself accountable, right, for whatever happens in my life. But when an accident is an accident because it's an accident, nobody planned it. If you planned it, then it's not an accident. When something happens to you, it happened to you. It's not who you are, and it certainly was not your fault. So one, trust your instincts, and two, you did nothing wrong. I was just seeking to be loved and receive love and give love. That's it. Or to date someone or to get to know someone. That's what I was trying to do. I didn't set out to be manipulated and emotionally abused. That's not what I set out to do. But from the experience I was having, I was crying often, like daily, like I would just curl up and like, God, did I do something wrong? What happened here? Did I hurt this person's feeling? Why is it they're hot and cold with me? They were so nice here, and then I was going in this thing. I didn't do that to myself. You didn't do it to yourself either. It happened to you, or it is happening to you. It's not your fault. And number three, clarity comes. Oh my gosh, this is the best part. No matter what you're going through, no matter what is happening to you, it's going to come to an end. You're going to eventually listen to your instincts. You're going to eventually hear yourself. Wisdom is going to reach you. Clarity is going to reach you. Truth is going to reach you eventually. Clarity comes. And when clarity comes, freedom. Clarity comes with freedom. Clarity comes with freedom. You know, I was talking with one of my friends about it, and she said, "I like to call her my angel, one of my angels." And she said to me, she said, "A little bit of truth in a whole lot of lies still has truth in it." So she was trying to let me know it wasn't your fault. There was truth in it, even though it might have been 1% truth and 99% lie. It's not because I was stupid. It's not because I wasn't smart enough. It's because there was truth in it. Yeah? So once people mix some truth in the deception, in the lies, in the manipulation, and that's what got me to become so unsteady. Because first, I didn't want to just say off the bat, oh, your intentions are bad. No. So when I started feeling like something isn't right here, I didn't just go straight and say, you're love bombing me, you're emotionally abusing me, you're manipulating me, you're trying to control me. I didn't go straight there because I want to also give you the benefit of the doubt. But what I learned is this person, at least this was what I figured what was, well, what pretty much told me he was doing. And he was telling me from the he kept saying it. It's like this person is saying to me, you're vulnerable. And to demonstrate that to me, he's making me vulnerable and then telling me that I'm vulnerable. Peeing on my legs and telling me it's raining. Peeing on my legs and telling me it's raining. I'm feeling the wet on my legs. Not literally, right? But I'm saying when someone pee on your leg and say it's raining, the ounce of truth is that it's really wet. You're feeling liquid, right? But is it raining? No. So this person is making me, it's literally doing things to make me vulnerable, then warn me that I'm vulnerable. And so I was afraid because here's this person now that I'm actually liking, and I'm gingerly moving along because I also don't want to disrupt it. I don't want to do things. I don't want my behavior to cause this person to just shut down on me and shut off, reject me, abandon me, neglect. you know? So I wouldn't ask the tough questions that I had. And I would go to my friends and say, but what is this? What do you think this is? And even some of the persons I spoke to felt like, oh, that person feel like they really like you. This person, this is somebody who sound like they really care for you. So when I'm sharing the information, right? But I'm still feeling unbalanced. I'm still feeling like something isn't right. Yeah, I'm still feeling that way. Like something is just not right here. I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm feeling like the rug is being pulled from under me. I'm feeling unbalanced. I'm feeling like what's going on with me? And I was literally asking, what's going on? What's happening here? And I even asked the person, I said, are you love bombing me? And he said, I wish I could. And I couldn't understand, why would you want to love bomb me? I don't even know if he understands what it means, or the extent, or the harm in what he was seeking to do. Right? So got the when I developed the gumption, and I felt, I guess I had nothing else to lose, because I woke up one day and I'm like, I can't keep going like this. This is too much. I can't keep. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna ask the tough questions. What are you doing to me? What's going on here? These things are not adding up. One minute you're saying this, then the next minute you're saying that. You're doing this here, and the next minute you're doing that. What's going on here? And then I realized what was happening. The truth came out, and I thank him for the truth. And I realized I was being manipulated. I was being um, love bombed. What was happening wasn't real, because he was just hot and cold. One moment it's this, the next moment it's that. Are we dating? Are we not dating? Are we getting to know each other? Are we not getting to know? What are we doing here? What is this thing? When you did this thing to me, what was that? But clarity comes. Clarity comes. And for me, I don't even care what I went through anymore. Like, I'm just happy clarity came. Because I'm not mad at this person. Because I know the universe loves me. And the universe would never set out to harm me. So what I'm doing is learning the lessons from this experience. The pain of it has passed. Peace is here, because clarity brings peace. And now for me, I'm at peace of mind again. So I'm sharing this with you, that if you have to go through this, or something similar, or anything that challenges you, that throws you off balance, that makes you feel like you're out at sea in a ship that is just in turmoil, I hope these 3 lessons help you as they have helped me. Because I believe that had I been clear on these three things, I think this cycle would have been shorter lived for me. But I have no regrets. I never regret an experience because experiences is a wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And God bless the person because I'm not trying to harm him either. And sometimes we're being used to do things and we don't get to dictate the approach. You know what I mean? Maybe God really wanted to get the message of you are becoming vulnerable or vulnerability is something to pay attention to. Maybe and so he sent someone to tell me and they just did the best they could and came to me the best way they knew how, you know? But I don't feel vulnerable now, and I didn't feel vulnerable before. I became vulnerable because someone was making me vulnerable. I became unbalanced because someone pulled the rug from underneath me. The rain wasn't falling, but someone was peeing on my leg. So today's topic was, are you peeing on my leg? And I'm saying to you, I'm leaving you these three tips for anyone that can find it, that finds it useful. If you feel as if someone is peeing on your legs and telling you it's raining, or you feel unbalanced, or you feel like you're confused, like you're not clear on what's happening here, number one, trust your instinct. And what did I say in trusting your instinct you do? You listen to it, you receive the information, and you accept the message. Yes? And then number two, you did nothing wrong. Do not blame yourself. Number three, clarity comes. Clarity comes. And when all that happens, we give grace, forgiveness, kindness, mercy, because we want that too. Because we're not always the victim on the side of the victim. Sometimes we are the perpetrators. Sometimes we are the ones inflicting pain on others and we don't even know. Because like I said, sometimes the universe wants us to learn something, and they're going to send someone to teach us. And that person is just going to come the best way they know how. Pain isn't a bad thing. Thank you so much for listening. I am Coach Racquel. And of course, the overarching message for this podcast is positive mind, positive vibes, positive life. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.